I'm SANTHOSHI and I'm contesting for the post of Cultural Affairs Secretary Retreat. My vision for the sphere is to revive SAARANG, reform SANGAM, rebuild contingents, revamp infrastructure, recognize talent and rejuvenate cultures.
SAARANG, our cultural festival, is one of the biggest and grandest in the whole country. And with the festival going online for 2 years, I wish to not just revive but also bring in innovation across the fest. I plan on introducing SAARANG NFTs, which will be offered as SAARANG collectibles with added benefits. We will be the first ever student-run festival in Asia to introduce NFTs along with the ownership that one gets by owning it. Giving back is one of the values that we hold for. And I want to recreate Mardi Gras at the alumni reunion as a memorable and a vintage excursion for alumni and the current students. As a part of social campaign that SAARANG runs, walls across Chennai will be revamped and this will be called as Graffiti for Good. Rebuilding our contingents and teams stand as my primary goal. To facilitate this, I propose to host the upcoming Inter-IIT Cultural Meet at IIT Madras, which will give an amazing learning curve to both the organizing and participating teams. Another initiative that I propose is that we will be collaborating with IIT and this will allow the cultural contingents to perform at regional alumni chapter meets and reunions. This will serve as an amazing platform for the contingents to showcase their talents. One primary aspect of the cultural sphere lacks is infrastructure. Expanding the cultural workspaces and inventory will improve the overall amenities available for cultures. I will also set up a digital inventory with a repository of resources to aid self-learning and improvement in the cultural arena. I propose to bring in a centralized certification system with the inclusion of cultural accomplishments like LitSoc and Inter-IIT into the newly introduced non-academic transcript.
My vision to reform SANGAM includes introduction to folk and Indian art forms in LTAP and NCA, SANGAM street events like street dramas and a semi-salon inter-hostel esports league. I also want to introduce collectible printed passports for freshmen to encourage participation and accessibility. I plan on setting up a PG cultural body for PG-specific events like weekenders and freshie nights, and also expanding NCA auditing for PG students. Culturals are by, for, and of everyone. Be it a short film, a song, or a book, cultural projects, one of my primary initiatives, will create the framework to allow students and clubs to create and collaborate on their niche cultural interests. To give a taste of what all the clubs offer, CULT-A-LYMPICS, a one-day event with mini tasks and socializers at the end, will be held. Open Fest is a fair with live music and performing art stage, where anyone from the GSB will be able to set up stalls. To encourage more participation, Shamata, a series of competitions open only to those who are not a part of the cultural contingents, will be held. Unity in diversity is what we stand for. Kshetriya Divas will be a celebration of the diversity we have with performances, cuisines and music from across India. One major aspect of the cultural sphere lacks is recognition. I propose to introduce the Institute Cultural Award, which will identify and recognize exceptional talent and achievers in the sphere. Apart from this, I also plan to introduce MAGNUM OPUS, which will recognize active and regular participants within the cultural sphere. I've been a part of the team professional shows as the Classical Night Coordinator and Golfest Deputy Coordinator since the past 2 years. I've also headed LitSoc for SARAYU as literary representative and have bagged the 3rd position last year. I've also headed the SANGAM newsletter as a SANGAM editorial head. Apart from these, I've also headed SARAYU as the General Secretary since 2019. If you find my points relevant, please do vote for me. And I promise to make sure that the cultural sphere is open and accessible to all.